I want to tell this story like a creator would on YouTube, not a dreary news recap, but a moving reaction, analysis, and take that makes you feel the person behind the headline. So here's a fresh, original script built around the core idea. Social prescribing can be a life-changing route when traditional approaches struggle, shown through one man's journey from isolation to connection. What I'm really fascinated by here is not just that a program exists, but how it shifts the entire frame around mental health care. We're used to medicine, therapy, maybe a talk with a doctor. Social prescribing flips the script. It treats community, purpose, and daily routine as an active remedy. Personally, I think that's a powerful reminder that healing isn't only in pills or sessions, it's in what we do with our days and who we do it with. Let me walk you through a telling arc, one that feels like a lived experience rather than a report. Hook: if your doctor handed you a calendar before a prescription, would you take it? Because that calendar, filled with gardening groups, walk-in talks, and volunteering, might be more healing than a bottle of pills for some people. Context setup: we're looking at a 56-year-old from Nuneaton who spent most of his life wrestling with depression and anxiety. The switch flipped when he pulled away from work and, initially, that retreat amplified loneliness and doom-scrolling. The moment he felt truly seen wasn't in a waiting room, it happened during a WorkWell session with a social prescribing team that chose a different kind of care, one rooted in community and small, doable steps. Main breakdown, Idea 1, isolation is not just loneliness, it's a feedback loop. Concept: removing structure can strip away purpose, making every day feel empty and endless. Commentary: what makes this really interesting is how quickly doing nothing becomes its own form of work, survival without meaning. From my perspective, lack of routine isn't harmless laziness, it's a social signal that you're drifting away from the world that could help you. Interpretation: the mind seeks predictability and support. Without it, you spiral into doom scrolling and a narrowed sense of self. Why it matters: it reframes mental health care as something that can be interrupted with social acts and micro-goals, not just clinical interventions. Bigger trend: this connects to a broader move toward community-based health where local services fill gaps traditional systems miss. Main breakdown, Idea 2, the turning point moment: human connection beats medication-only approaches in real life. Concept: at first, anxiety spiked, then a calm, human facilitator helped him stay present. Commentary: what many people don't realize is the power of just being with someone who believes you can cope. From my view, this is a reminder that empathy and presence can restructure a person's fear in a single session. Interpretation: the therapeutic value of non-clinical support lies in modeling stability and offering practical pathways back into daily life. Why it matters: it suggests that healthcare systems should invest in relational supports alongside medicines and therapy. Bigger trend: this mirrors a growing emphasis on peer-led and community-based approaches as scalable mental health infrastructure. Main breakdown, Idea 3, simple, tangible activities as the backbone of recovery. Concept: gardening, walk-in talks, volunteering aren't add-ons, they become the tools that rebuild routine and social capital. Commentary: a detail I find fascinating is how small, repeatable actions accumulate into a real sense of purpose. In my opinion, small wins compound, and that's how a life gets re-anchored. Interpretation: these activities create feedback loops: you show up, you connect, you feel useful, you want to show up again. Why it matters: it demonstrates a practical blueprint for others who feel overwhelmed by traditional therapy alone. Bigger trend: we're seeing public health embrace everyday activities as therapeutics, accessible, community-grounded, and scalable. Deeper insight: this story hints at a shift in how we define effective care. If someone's daily life is rebuilt around connection and purpose, long-term outcomes might improve beyond symptom reduction, like resilience, self-efficacy, and social inclusion. It raises questions: how do we fund and normalize these programs? How do we measure their impact in a system built on appointments and diagnoses? And crucially, how can we tailor social prescribing to fit diverse communities so it doesn't feel like a one-size-fits-all band-aid? Closing thought: the bigger takeaway isn't just that social prescribing helped one man, it's that care ecosystems can be designed to meet people where they are, with what they already have. If we treat health as a collaborative journey through everyday life, we might unlock recovery paths that medicine alone can't illuminate. So here's a question for you: what small, community-based activity could you add to your week that might quietly shift your own sense of purpose, and who could you invite along to share it? If you'd like, I can tailor the script to a specific tone, more edgy, more compassionate, more humorous, or adjust the length for a particular YouTube format. Would you prefer a tighter 6 to 8 minute version or a longer, deep dive 12 to 15 minute take?